Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP, and guess what? It's back, the 10K XRP prediction, coming from Ripple co-founder Arthur Brito this time. And thank you, Michael Dubzik, for sharing this with me over on Twitter. I wanted to give you a shout out today. So Brito is the co-founder of Ripple Labs, has expressed his belief that XRP, the digital asset associated with Ripple, is designed with the goal of reaching a price of 10K. Brito emphasized the importance of scalability in achieving this target, stating that XRP must be capable of accommodating the entire global population of 7.5 billion people. Brito's ambitious vision for XRP reflects his confidence in the scalability and widespread adoption of the digital asset. By aiming for a price of 10K, XRP would join the ranks of the most valuable cryptocurrencies in the market. Brito's emphasis on global scalability recognizes the need for XRP to handle transactions on a massive scale, enabling its usage across various industries and populations. Now, I don't know how many of you might have lost the dream of XRP becoming 10K in the future, that vision you had early on. But when you see the co-founder of Ripple talking about XRP this way, you need to pay attention, because he does make a lot of sense. It needs to be able to handle all of those transactions, all of those payments. It cannot be sitting at a cheap price. Analysts forecast XRP price at $92.72 by June 14th. A prominent analyst has recently made a bold projection for XRP, forecasting that the price of the digital asset will surge to $92.72 by June 14th. This significant price target suggests substantial growth potential for XRP investors, making it an exciting opportunity in the cryptocurrency market. The analyst's projection indicates a strong bullish sentiment towards XRP, highlighting the anticipated positive market dynamics that could drive the price to reach such heights. While market predictions are subject to volatility and external factors, this forecast has captured the attention of investors who are closely monitoring XRP's performance. Now, I'm not going to say it can't get to $92. I'd never like to put a date on things, but it does make sense with the Hinman documents coming out. Who knows, this judge may come to settlement. She might make a judgment in favor of Ripple between now and then as well. But the one thing people always overlook is all the FOMO money. You know, even the haters, people that absolutely hate XRP, are going to be buying it up once it starts to move, because they don't want to miss out on this opportunity. It's going to be one of the greatest opportunities in crypto, and it's going to be game-changing at the same time. My dream scenario is Swift makes a deal with Ripple where all their banks get to use RippleNet for free, maybe even paying Swift. Fits our XRP strategy perfectly. David Schwartz said that. So I always felt that Swift needs Ripple more than Ripple needs Swift. And I think they're going to come together because they make it so simple. Ripple would replace current settlement system for funds transfer if widely adopted. Federal Reserve would still enforce regulation. Swift can be easily integrated into Ripple as well. So if it's easy, why would they not work together? This way they could utilize XRP all throughout the world with that on-demand liquidity. It would benefit all these banks. They wouldn't have to make a choice between Ripple or Swift. They would have one option. A cardholder could hold gold balances on Ripple that are backed by physical gold bullion Ripple Gateway. Now this shows the strength of Ripple. Ripple allows for the seamless translation of any store of value. Prepaid debit cards can be linked to a Ripple account to facilitate the spending of non-traditional stores of value at point of sale. For example, a cardholder could hold gold balances on Ripple that are backed by physical gold bullion at a Ripple gateway. The cardholder could spend gold at point of sale, and Ripple will seamlessly leverage market makers to exchange gold for USD in real time, delivering USD to the issuing bank for settlement with the merchant via traditional methods. That's the power of Ripple. And when you see something like that, when you see any store of value being talked about, think about tokenization in the future. Anything of value will become tokenized. Good for crypto. FDIC says record $472 billion withdrawn by U.S. depositors. I said it for a while now. People are getting away from the bank. The good thing about this is they're also trying to offset inflation at the same time. So I think a lot of that money is going to pour into crypto. And I just hope they choose the right cryptocurrencies. A lot of people can become financially free through crypto. But this is why the banks are always telling you about FDIC insurance. Get away from Venmo and PayPal. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. So the FedNow payment system, what it is and how it will affect your banking institution. One thing I want to point out here is this right here. Take notice how they talk about Venmo. So presently, consumers have to rely on peer-to-peer applications such as Venmo, PayPal, or money brokers to facilitate instant payments. While sending money to friends or acquaintances is relatively easy, banking operations are plagued by lengthy waiting periods. Deposits may take several business days to process, and most banks do not operate on weekends or holidays. And that's 100% true. If you use a debit card and you buy something on a Friday, that money may not leave your account until Monday. If Monday's a holiday, expect it to leave on Tuesday. People are now using PayPal and Venmo even more, and the banks don't like it. That's why they recently put out that warning that PayPal, Venmo, and other cash apps are not insured by FDIC. But I don't think people even care at this point. They no longer trust the bank. They lost faith. So then there's this right here. To anyone who may believe Ripple is in competition with FedNow, completely false. So it has been a tremendous honor to participate in the task force and serve on the steering committee. Ripple would like to extend a sincere thanks to the Federal Reserve for supporting this effort and the task force for its commitment and helpful input on our proposal. Everybody's worried about FedNow utilizing Ripple right now. But think about it. FedNow is only for domestic payments. Later will come cross-border payments. I think when that happens, that's when you'll see the Fed utilize RippleNet. Then you'll get that announcement that we're all anticipating. Because I think Ripple and the Fed have been working together for a very long time. FHA floats new program to use taxpayer cash to pay mortgages of delinquent homeowners. Remember I was talking in yesterday's video about debt jubilees? Well, here's another one for you. Further proving we haven't learned our lessons from the free stuff era of COVID relief, that taxpayers funded and continued to pay out for via out-of-control inflation. The government announced last week it's working on a way to help struggling homeowners meet their mortgage obligations. But I like the way this guy X this out. Reward people who don't pay their bills. Because that's exactly what the government's doing right now. And it's making a lot of people very mad. They're upset about it. But if you're an XRP holder, I say the hell with it. Let them go and spend all this money on whatever they want. Because at some point, this current system's falling apart. It's going to crash and burn. And out of the ashes is going to rise XRP. And that's when me and you, like I said in yesterday's video, will become the new 1%. The program comes from the Federal Housing Administration, who posted a proposal for feedback on an initiative called the Payment Supplement Partial Claim, which, as the government's press release says, would allow mortgage servicers to use the FHA partial claim both to bring a borrower's mortgage current and to provide temporary reductions to their monthly mortgage payments for up to 5 years. So guess what? These people are just going to default on their mortgage. Then they're going to go sign up for this program and their mortgage is going to be paid by the government. And we're going to fit the bill as taxpayers. Sure, it pisses me off because it should piss everybody off. And, you know, it's the same thing that's going on with the credit system right now as well. But you know, debt jubilees don't last forever. Blowout jobs report is the strangest employment report for some time, as payroll shows enormous gains while households reported a significant loss of jobs. As for the Fed, this is a nightmare report. This is where they're talking about all those jobs that they supposedly created. And we knew those jobs were not real jobs. 339,000, I mean, come on. At least they could have chosen a number that was more sellable, that people could actually believe in. But, you know, finally they come out and they actually show you that most of this information is false. And the reason that they put this narrative out there is it gets people to go and apply for jobs. They're going to create what's called a job shortage, kind of like what we've seen with the housing market. You need to get a house right now or you're not going to get one. Now they're going to say, you need to get a job right now or you're not going to get one. That's exactly how they're playing all the American people right now. And most people are still working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet, which is absolutely ridiculous in this country. You know, that's one thing that really does make me mad. But take a listen to David Schwartz talk about the XRP ledger.
There was never anything preventing people from running their own validators, forking the network, and there still isn't today. If there's something about the XRP ledger that you don't like, whether it's connected, whether it has something to do with Ripple or nothing to do with Ripple, you can offer software that doesn't have, has that feature or has that change that you want. You can run validators that support that feature the way that you want, and then people will decide which blockchain they want to be on. It's extremely democratic, and it has been, I would argue, since the source code was public. So, for example, if you proposed a change in the rules of the XRP ledger, and let's just assume that, Ripple's like, no, that's terrible. That's absolutely the worst thing in the world. Nothing prevents you from releasing software with those changes. Nothing prevents you from trying to persuade people that your software is better. And if people agree with you, then eventually what will happen, there's nothing that Ripple could do to stop you from creating a competing chain. And then, as happened with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, if you remember, there was a disagreement over the rules in Bitcoin, and someone created a competing set of rules. And what happened is, for a short period of time, we didn't know which Bitcoin was going to be Bitcoin. And so the same thing could happen with the XRP ledger. Nothing stops anybody from publishing changing rules, changing the software, changing the set of validators that they use, changing any of those things. And then we won't know which is obviously, if nobody listens to you, then it's pretty clear that you're not going to get anywhere. But if you have again, in no blockchain can you force people to accept, Ripple can't force people to accept rules that they don't want, and you can't force people to accept rules that they don't want. But if there's genuine support for your rules, then we won't know, and it could be that there's XRP and XRP Cash, and we won't know which one's XRP and which one's XRP Cash until the market, nobody decided that Bitcoin was going to be the one with segregated witness and Bitcoin Cash was going to be the one with bigger blocks. The market just sort of eventually shook it out that was the way that people had decided. There was no entity that had the power to make that decision. And it's very much the same in the XRP ledger world. If there were ever disagreements over rules, there's no entity that has the power to say, this is going to be the real one. This is going to be the XRP ledger and XRP from now on. It's going to be what
David Schwartz actually explained there was decentralization, how decentralized the XRP ledger is. But the one thing I like that he said is which XRP ledger version is the real version. It's what the community adopts. And that I thought was a very good statement. But this came from Crypto Eerie, and I wanted to go back and mention something because I talked about one of her tweets in a previous video, and people in the XLM community didn't like it because they thought, back when she said that the IBM and XLM partnership was dead and over and people should sell off their XLM. I did not agree with her one bit on that. That was the only thing I never agreed with her on, was the way she told the XLM community to sell off their XLM. But again, I like the way that David Schwartz pretty much told you right there that XRP ledger is absolutely decentralized. Then there's this. So YouTube reverses policy will now allow election fraud claims. I've been waiting for a while to talk about this. I knew the election was an absolute sham. Trump definitely won, and Biden is an install from the World Economic Forum. I don't think he was elected in any way. And, all he has done so far is nothing except tear this country down in the name of the World Economic Forum and push us more towards the Great Reset. but I'll do a different video on that. But it's nice to see YouTube now reversed its policy on that, because there was many times I wanted to talk about that and give you my views, and that's my view. I think the election was a total sham, and this guy's not a real president. With that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.